You can use any air dry clay that you have, which does not need any baking process. Okay, so you can take that. And then we need mirrors of different size and different shapes, plus Fevicol and some talcum powder so that when we mix the clay should not stick to our hands. I hope I'm clear. You can just say yes or thumbs up in the chat box and then I'll quickly move further. Great. This is Fevicryl molded clay, also known as Shilpkar clay. Okay. So now this is a raw wooden base. We need to paint it. So I'm going to take acrylic paint for that. You can take any shade, and if you want the traditional look, you can go with the white shade itself. Fine. So right now I'm going to take blue shade as my background for my base. So let me quickly turn the camera. Okay. And I'll just start applying it to my base. Just take a brush and just start painting the base. You can just apply any shade you want, okay? There is no restriction. But if you want the completely traditional look, then you can go with the white color itself. I'm not adding any water to this because they are already in very liquid form. If you are using tube colors, then you can go ahead with, a bit of water in it. Now we'll just leave this to dry. I'm just checking if anywhere there is excess color. So I'm just going over it. Fine. So we have just painted our base and we will just leave this to dry for some time. Until the time this dries, what we are going to do is we will be just mixing our clay and get ready with that. Now, this clay basically dries out very quickly. So what you have to do is take very minimum quantity and you can just keep on mixing as and when needed. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Ma'am, you're clearly audible.
Sorry?
Ma'am, you're clearly audible.
All right. So guys, if you are not able to hear me, just leave and join back. Maybe some signal issue from your end. Okay, so this basically comes in two parts. Okay, so one with the red package and one with the blue package. So you need to take both the clays in equal proportion. So I've just taken one part from the red clay and I will be taking equal proportion from the blue part. Don't worry, Nick. We have just started. We have just painted the base and now we are just moving forward to the mixing up the clay. Vanna, that's what I said. There are different chalk powder. There are so many different powders that can be used to make the clay that I'll be teaching in the further session, because in 45 minutes it won't be possible to cover up everything. Okay, so I have two clays in equal parts. Now to make sure that it doesn't stick to my hand, what I'm gonna do is I have this talcum powder. So I'm just gonna rub my hands with that powder first so that your hands become rough and they won't have the clay on. This is the base that I have painted. I am using Fevicryl molded clay, also known as Shilpkar clay. All right. So just rub your hands. Now start mixing this clay. As you can see, they are in different shades. Now we have to mix till we get one single color. If you feel it's sticking to your hands, just take some more powder and again keep on kneading it. Yes, you can use M-Seal also. That is also an air dry clay. You can go ahead with that. But see what happens when you work with big projects, like, once you start getting orders, for that big project, this clay becomes very costly. So you should even know how to make your own clay, how to make your own cone for the intricate patterns. So that's why we will be teaching, like, completely in further session, how you can make everything on your own. Also, how to prepare the base, everything will be covered up, which we will be discussing at the end. Don't worry for that. All right, so here my clay is like, one single color. I'll just mix once more. All right, so here you can see it's one single color now.
Rajatna ma'am? Rajatna ma'am? You are stuck in between.
Yeah, so sorry. Yes, I know, don't worry. I just got a call and it got disturbed. All right. So now we have our clay ready. We have our base ready. So what we are going to do is, first of all, we will be making a pattern. To make a pattern, you need a pencil. You even need a rounder. You need protractor as well as scale. Right now, I'm just going to make a very simple design with the rounder and the scale. So first, let's just start making the pattern. So I already have a center here. Okay, and I'm just gonna make once round. Don't worry if the pattern is not visible. I will lift it up once I'm done and I'll show you. I'm trying to make it as dark as possible, but sometimes due to light reflection, it may not be possible to see. So just 1 second. Once I'm done, I'll show. Okay, so I have one round here and I'll be making one more circle a bit bigger. Okay, so I basically have two circles. Now I'm just going to take my scale, and you basically need a protractor for the exact angles. But right now I'll just go quickly with the scale and divide it up into 4 equal parts. Again, divide same into halves. So we have 8 parts total in all. Just a second, I'll just show it to you, don't worry. Okay, so this is how it looks. One circle here, and 8 parts. Clear? You'll be able to see it once I even apply the glue. So let me just draw one very simple pattern to just go ahead with this. And I'm just gonna make small petals inside. You even get so many intricate patterns in this, how to draw, how to, scale. If you're making a big piece, everything, we will be covering it up. Fine. And now I'm just going to make a leaf shape here. Right, so it's just for my idea. Now moving further, what I'll be doing is I'm just going to take some talcum powder here, as I have already spread a plastic sheet. So I'll just take some powder here so that I can roll my clay into complete small rolls, thin rolls, and create the pattern. So let's take some clay. Again, take some powder on your hand and then start rolling. If you feel that you cannot roll it straight, you can even use your scale and then roll it to have perfect thin rolls. I'm going to do it with my hands. And make sure, as our piece is smaller, we need to have thin threads of clay. And we will be starting from the center and then moving outside. Now I'll just start applying glue and slowly, just a second. Start applying the glue here on the design itself. Just 1 second. I think there is a sticky part inside. I need to remove that. Oops. Just 1 second. I'll clean it up. So I'm just taking out the glue here as it has just got blocked. Okay. And then I'll be applying it using a very thin brush. So we can even take the back side of our paintbrush, we will use that to just apply the glue. Right. So now we have our clay roll, and I'm just going to take very little, because depending on the size, I will start breaking up my rolls of the clay and then place it over the pattern. So I'm just taking a very small clay roll and then just place it completely over the design, starting from the center and then moving a bit inside. And then just give it a shape. I'm not going to cover up the complete piece because I have another petal coming from that part. Fine. Let's take another clay, divide it from beforehand so that it's easy for you to handle. and then just place. Now, when you are taking the small pieces, just see that, the thickness should be equal for all. Start from this end, place it. And again, as I said, I'm not going to cover up till the end so that it looks in continuation. Again, apply glue here. All right, and let's take another piece. Start from the center, place it, and just take till halfway. If you want, you can do complete, but I like to make it so that, the center won't get very thick. Right? Let's take the clay. Start from this point and finish up till this. Just give a bit of shape and see that it joins the other petal also. Right. Now we will be moving to the next step. And for that, what we will do is we'll take this clay again and start rolling. See, this clay just stays, for 10-15 minutes. So make sure that you take in less quantity, mix in less quantity as and when needed. And then again, you can mix the quantity again as you need. So it will not spoil your clay also, and it will make your work also easier. So I'm quickly making a big thread so that it's easy for me to finish up quickly. All right. Now I'll just make the petal that I have drawn. Start from this end. From inside towards outside. If you want, you can break here or just give a cut and again move to this end and then cut off the excess part. Right? Now just give a bit of shape and just give a point here like a pattern. Let's do that for this side. And this clay basically, it's what to say, not pure white. So what we will be doing is we will be finishing up with the design and then we will have to paint it so that it gives us a perfect bright look needed for the pattern to just have come out, basically give a life to a complete pattern. Just give a shape, and then as I said, you just need to pinch here to make it look pointed. Let's do that for the third side. This glue will dry out and it will dry out clear. So not to worry, it won't be visible. So again, placing from this point, just give a cut and then again fold it this side and then remove the excess. And then give it a shape. Yes, you can use normal white Fevicol or this fabric glue. They are quite strong enough to hold your clay as well as the mirrors. Okay, I'm just gonna cut it because it's less. So I'll have to take some more clay and roll. Take some powder if it's sticking to your hands and then again start rolling. Okay, start from this point and add it here. Remove the excess and just give a bit of point look. Okay, now this is a basic pattern that is ready. Now what I'm gonna do is, if you want, you can add a complete round to this. So I'll just make a big thread for the round. So see this clay, as it has almost like 5-10 minutes and it has started becoming hard. So you need to mix as much as needed and then repeat the process. So that is like, when you are working with big projects, you cannot keep on mixing small quantities. It will hinder your process. So the handmade clay will remain for 2 to 3 hours and you can continuously work. You won't have to keep on making the clay again and again. Okay, so now here I'll just quickly add very little by little glue on the edge and then just place up my thread of this clay. Start from one point, press it, keep on pressing so that it doesn't move. Shape and press.
Rajitna ma'am? Ma'am, your video got paused again. Rajitna ma'am, am I audible to you? So sorry for that, guys. Ma'am is just connecting again. Rajitna ma'am, am I audible to you?
Okay, so I just applied glue and I just attached my clay on this. Now what I'm gonna do is with the leftover clay, I'll just make some petals. So for that, you just need to make a ball, roll it and press and then pinch from one side to get a leaf shape. And then just apply your glue and place. So I'll just apply my glue for quicker application. And then I'll just make my petals. Make a ball, press and pinch. Repeating same for this side. So just make a complete leaf for all the four sides. And then in the center, we will be attaching one ball. So it looks like a complete pattern. So here goes the last one. And one ball for the center. So I'm just going to make a bigger ball. And then just press it and place it in the center. So just apply some glue here. And then just place it like this. And on this, what we will be doing is just making an imprint of a hole. Okay, so this is my very basic pattern which is ready, and I'm just gonna paint it up first and then we'll start with the mirror work. All right. So now we just need white acrylic paint. You don't need to wait for the clay to dry, as we are not going to press with the paint. We are just going to apply over it. So let's take this white acrylic paint and be careful that you do not apply, on the blue paint. So very carefully, just go over your white pattern. So I'll just finish one side and then, I'll apply the mirrors, and then Harshal, you can just take it further. So I'll just finish one side and then I'll just hand over to you. Yes, I already told in the starting, you can do it on canvas, glass, ceramic, any hard base you can take for doing your project. Okay, so yes, it can be done on cardboard also, but it won't be that sturdy. Okay, so here you can see this is a Fevicol which is still wet, it will dry out. And this is my basic pattern which is ready. Now I'll start applying the mirrors. Now as my pattern is very small, I'm gonna use more, small size mirrors. So I'll again turn my camera and I'll just start applying the mirrors. I hope I'm clear to whatever I did right now. All right. Okay, so I'm having round and square mirrors. So now wherever you want to place the mirror, you just have to apply your glue. So what I'll do is I'll first of all apply in the center of this petals. And I'm just going to apply a square one in a diamond with pointing towards the center to give it a diamond look. And one in the center here if you want with a circle. Same here. Now we will be going to the bigger leaf, and here I'm just going to apply in this one line. So one circle in the center and two squares, like one up and one below, the one above and one below the circle. I just place one more square. And one more circle here. So now this process I'll be repeating for all the four. I'm just showing you here. Kirti, I will be discussing all the vendor details and everything with you. Don't worry for that. So this is how the basic will look, and this is the part which I'm gonna finish up.